side of the show where we talk the social media and it's buzzing, I can tell you. Rena is here and definitely be handing the baton over to her.
Oh yeah,
In
Rena,
the meantime. Good morning, Rena.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
What's cooking?
Pounded yam.
With what soup?
Okra.
Oh no.
What's
Maybe later. Egusi or vegetable.
Anyway, finish the cooking. We'll get to see you at the end of the cooking.
All right, thank you. Catch you later. Hello, everyone. Good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Rena Obozeghie. Now, the federal lawmaker representing Bauchi Central, Abdul Ningi, who claims that 3.7 trillion naira is unaccounted for in the 2024 budget, is repeating himself. He says he's not afraid of being suspended for speaking what he calls the truth. He also said that he was misquoted about President Bola Tinubu implementing 2 budgets, plus he's not speaking for northern senators, but himself.
But we are yet to ascertain 3 trillion of that budget. We have established the 3 trillion in the budget. We have not established its location and the place. The intention of the northern senators as regards to the budgetary allocation was to meet the Senate President with our findings and subsequently meet President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with our findings. If it is a cross I have to carry, I'll carry it. I'm not afraid of anything. Anything. I believe in one God, and I believe power is transient. If because I said what I said, then I'll be suspended. So please be it. It will be an honor. I've been out of the Senate for 8 years. And people had to force me back.
Well, congratulations that you were forced back to the Senate, however that happened. But let's see reactions on our topic today. Stephen says, interesting times. It is not the Akpabio that is trying to probe the 30 trillion Ways and Means Fund. Nigeria is a funny place. He's not happy with the way the 30 trillion naira expenditure went, and Senator Ningi isn't happy with the way the current budget was padded. Funny country. And another reaction, Adewale says, I love his courage. I hope he's not speaking because of fallout as to sharing formula of the intending loot. And another user, Mike Egbe, says 3.7 trillion can't be hanging in the air within the budget without a subhead. I am not an accountant, but simple sense tells us that for you to pad a budget, it means you inflated some figures on subheads way above the actual amount it should have been. This senator needs to be suspended. Oh, well, he says he's not afraid. For Femi, he says, Senator Ningi is not new to double speaks. He wants relevance, but he should be dealt with now. You know, the last time he was on advantage position like this was during the Goodluck Ebere Jonathan era, and he says, share you get. So for some netizens, this is a topic to have. For others, he just wants to come back to the limelight and see what's happening or what he could gain from all of this. But then he says he's ready for anything. So let's see if he would even go to court to defend himself. But let's move away from that to say that reactions are trailing a post by the former secretary to the Peter Obi-led Anambra State government, Obozeghie. Well, he had written on X in a post twice. He made some clarifications. If we could just have that reaction now. This is the SSG to Peter Obi-led government. A state government in Anambra. He had written that potential corporate PRS disaster require tact and diplomacy. When I was the SSG in Anambra, Peter Obi procured over 400 SUVs for the traditional rulers. One day, a traditional ruler, this is not even the focus because this continued before it became a conversation. So our emphasis would be that when I was the SSG in Anambra, Peter Obi procured over 400 SUVs for the traditional rulers. That is the emphasis there. And then he came back to make some clarification when this was trending. And he says, we bought over 400 vehicles. Clarification, not all of them were SUVs. Most were for community vigilantes. And he says he's bad. So that's the emphasis right there. So When this happened, mixed reactions followed, as Obi had in November 2023 faulted the purchase of SUVs for lawmakers, querying why no local car producer was patronized instead to help Nigeria's economy create and retain jobs. Well, so someone like Reno Omokri, after Obi's former aide posts that comment, he says that he was one of the people who called Obi out. He says he criticized the National Assembly for wasting billions buying 400 SUVs, please, for legislators. Meanwhile, he purchased 400 SUVs for Anambra Igwes when he was governor. Between legislators and Igwes, who should the government buy cars for? This is almost spiritual. 400 versus 400, exact number. His own was not a waste. Maybe it was a waste. Maybe if you were reading along, you'll see the spellings right there. But then this user now said, some people still think he's a saint, but he's just a politician. Someone snitched on his boss, Atiku. He might snitch if he becomes the president. But then another user, CIA, says, he bought them from Innocent to support the Naira and grow Nigeria. Tinubu got his cars from Toyota, giving away the Forex we are begging to save to a company whose headquarters is outside Nigeria. Which move is smarter? Let's be reasonable with our submissions here. And then this was pre-election, pre-2023 election. This was also a comment when all of these were making the news to say that let's call this an earlier reaction from Peter Obi himself. So let's have him speak for himself now to tell us how it all happened, talking about the SUVs for Igwes in Anambra.
Today, people are celebrating Innocent. The only thing why Innocent was functional, when Innocent started his factory, he came to me. I said, Innocent, since you are in Anambra State, producing vehicles and you're employing thousands of people from this state and surrounding, we will be your highest customer. Come and tell me whether you can produce a bus. Said yes. Pick up for police. Said yes. I said, how about G's for traditional rulers? Said yes. I gave him an order for 1,000 vehicles at 5 billion, and I paid him everything at least 180 days before delivery. I said, come, we'll give you money because we need you to be here. We paid everything up front. I told you before that when I was buying it, oh, the cheese, everybody said they won't use it. If it fail break, if you say, don't worry, we will not bother. No matter the number of people he killed, the ones who remain will remain in Anambra. But we're going to buy the vehicle. Now that you've said we'll do made in Nigeria, I agree. Can we go to the government houses and make sure that all the chair and the beds there are made in Nigeria? Because that's where we will start.
All right, that launches us to our next story, where the UK has started the implementation of the dependants ban on migrant caregivers. In a post on X, it wrote that it was an initiative to make sure that the biggest ever court in migration. Let's quickly take a look at this ones before we move over to some stories. How did this affect netizens? Ikechi first says, expecting someone with a spouse and children not to relocate their family for work in the UK is an unreasonable demand. It overlooks family unity and support, especially in the context of significant life changes such as international relocation. They have to choose between career and family. More thought on this is Goodbye to the Worst, who says, care workers are human beings. They are expected to care for British families. Why are they expected to do it without their own families by their side? If we depend on their labor to the point that we offer them a visa to come here and provide it, then we get the human beings too. And final thought on this is coming from Danny, who says, smart move. The UK care industry, particularly the NHS, is saturated by underskilled workers with poor English and barely employable skills. Well, we'll leave it at that to say that in Kogi State, there was a soldier, a policeman rather. It was a video of an armed policeman that was shared on X by Omo Kogi. So there were robberies on Thursday in the state, Anyigba area of the state, but he was captured in a video hiding or maybe taking shelter or reinforcing while that happened. The previous slide would have been it, but then let's talk about Choma Okoli, who in September last year, last year 2023, rather in September exactly, was I mean, she's been going through a lot for reviewing a tomato paste Erisco exactly. And today there will be a walk for her in Lagos State to say that I stand with Chioma Okoli, by women groups who have come together to put this for her. It's supposed to have started by 8 a.m. Apparently, whether this is started right now or something came up, I'm not sure. But here, this is the story of Chioma. I know that the executive, the GMD of Erisco Groups has insisted that someone must die. It's either he kills somebody and goes to jail or Chioma goes to jail. So I don't know what power he has to have decided that pre-court session. So that's the fate of Chioma Okoli right there.
Well, Rana, I think this is one good news and at the same time sad news that women have to march, for consumers' rights, whether it's woman or man, to be able to be respected. And when I saw this yesterday, and for over 2 weeks, there's been a plan on this work for a long time. But we just hope that beyond this, there will be some level of, bringing in, to answer to the books, the owner of that tomato paste factory, making such threats, at the woman's life, creating some level of, incursion. It's not to be heard.
Well, he insists that she was paid to debrand the brand, and it was not an honest review. That's his argument. Because I saw another brand yesterday that a consumer got a carton of it, and 6 were bad, and the company had to send her a carton of everything just to replace the 6 that were bad. And people were clapping for them, but her case is really different. For 5 months, we've been on this, and it's really been a good day for her at all.
She said the paste was too sugary. That was her offense. Perhaps you need to recall all the products at the end of the day.
And some ingredients, a minute, please.
Actually,
some of the ingredients, the ones that they had sugar as one of the ingredients there too. So
there are actually procedures for all of these things. If there are consumer concerns or complaints about a particular product, there are certain things you do, especially as a company that produces things that people consume. And whether it's goods or services, as a company, your response shouldn't be to hound those people.
Or intimidate.
But to look, or intimidate them, but to look into their concerns and genuinely address them, because you provide services, you provide consumables for people. And this is tomato paste, something that people eat, which could
ingest into the body,
be harmful to the health if something goes wrong. So I think it goes beyond even talking about it. The government agencies that are responsible for regulation, especially I'm talking specifically about NAFDAC, should look into these issues and ensure that something is done.
Do their own investigations. Recall the product and look at it.
And
she's saying the truth or not.
Whether Chioma is correct or the company is correct, that is in the interest of the public. Really.
Absolutely. I know that the former Consumer Protection Rights Agency boss was on it before he was replaced. So the new one, I have no news if he has tabled this matter yet, but I know that the former one who was removed was big on this issue. But unfortunately, it didn't end before his reign.
Government is a continuum. The new man should, whoever is at FCCPC now, should pick it up from where the last Irukera stopped and go on with it, because this has to do with Nigerian people.
Absolutely.
And when Nigerian women work, they work. So she better be careful.
What a woman wants, she gets. All right. Thank you very much, Rena.
Thank
you. Great piece there.
You too.
Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Okay, stay with us. Kakaaki, the African Voice. We will revert to the conversation we were having before Rena joined us. Akintunde.